Welcome, everybody. I am Casey Wallace, the host of your show. Welcome to COVID-19, the opportunities that you haven't thought of. We here at Xpnsion Network decided to take this opportunity to connect with you and bring to you experts, worldwide experts in the field of high frequency, possibility, positivity, and in order to allow you the accessibility to a higher frequency, a higher place during this time, because there's all opportunities out there, and we know that you deserve and that you are searching for the support that you are seeking in knowing yourselves and knowing that everything that happens to you is happening for you here on this Earthship. And through the expertise of our guests, we're going to help reinforce that for you and get you into that space of knowing. Today's guest is a very deep personal friend of mine. Her name is Lori Spagna. She is a global expert in the fields of spirituality, consciousness, transformation, and how to know yourself, both in the ethereal realms and on the physical realms. She also is an incredible keynote speaker, presenter, and once you get into Lori's space, you're going to feel well on your way in your support system of everything that we can possibly be. So it's with my great pleasure that I welcome my guest, Lori Spagna. Lori, thanks for being with us.
Hello, thanks for having me. Glad to be here with you guys.
Lori, in this program, as you know, we're bringing you and other experts forward to support everybody in the direction of positivity and high frequency during this time. So we're asking our experts to give people advice, suggestions, opportunities, and what can they be using this time for? Well, how can they be doing applications or theories or processes for themselves to get themselves really in a higher space of knowing?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I want to just say is for those of us in the consciousness community, we have been knowing that this time would come and preparing. We didn't know it would play out exactly like this, but we knew that 2020 was the birth of the third wave. And that's when the third wave, or the whole of humanity that has been basically entirely unconscious, more or less, has to start cleaning up their crap. And so this is what it is. We've reached critical mass where we had enough consciousness on the planet. It was the tipping point to ripple into the consciousness, to the global collective. That's what's going on right now. So the collective is being given an opportunity to face their fear and their density and to clean up their so-called unconscious crap. So that's the first piece. If we could, that's really what's going on here on the world stage. That sort of helps put it in perspective. So we're talking about what is their deep stuff that they haven't processed is their survival issues and their life and death survival issues and their issues with their personal power, giving their authority away to others. They've given their power away to the news media and to external authority figures and to the external world and even to their bodies. And relationship issues. So all that stuff is coming up for the collective to start addressing in a more conscious way. At the same time, let's just get clear that Mother Earth and all of humanity has been asking, like, what are we going to do about how we've treated our Earth? How will Earth be healed? And Mother Earth, of course, in her way, is elevating her frequency and raising her consciousness. And she wants her air clear. She wants her waters clear. She wants nature respected and honored. She wants her mission, her agenda is to elevate in frequency. And we know the Schumann's records, like Schumann's resonance, is off the charts, elevated now, higher than ever before. This is all like Mother Earth saying, hey, you humans, you've been the virus on my Earth. So what does a virus do? It kills the host, right? So Mother Earth is basically saying, go into your corner and think about what you've done. Sit still, get quiet. And I sort of see humanity right now in have you ever been to Vipassana?
No.
You go into a room And you have basically 7 days, 10 days, 2 weeks. You don't get any paper, you don't get any pencil, no journal, no nothing. And you sit there with yourself. It's like this is how you train a dog too. You put him in a crate and he doesn't get to do anything except his basic needs are met. He gets to eat, he gets to go for walks and exercise, he gets to go to have water and love, and he gets training. But overall, he gets to sit in his crate so he can release all of his stress and anxiety, and so he doesn't have to um, learn any bad behaviors, so to speak, pick up any bad behaviors. It's like boot camp. So that's what's happening. We have a global reset, right? We're basically being asked to bring ourselves into 0 point, divine neutrality. So if we can see it from that perspective, we can understand in a more visionary way what's happening. Does that all make sense? Because you're so quiet right now.
Brad instructed, we instructed ourselves that I wouldn't get too gabby. I would let everybody do this. I'm sitting here really loving your dialogue, Lori. Everything you're putting into words so beautifully. Everything that I'm supported with also in my way of receiving my information. I'm loving the fact that you said that the primary fear of human beings activates those survival instincts in us. And no matter how high in consciousness many people believe themselves to be, you've still got that undermining current of survival instincts. You can see it in your business practices, you can see it in your relationship practices, you can see it in all types of commerce, that you participate in. And you try to wrap it in a golden rainbow package so it looks like, maybe you have finally elevated yourself into a higher state of consciousness, and then something like this hits. And it's really pulling that blanket off of you and revealing your truth. And so for the people to be able to stand in there, I'm not going into survival instincts, I'm going into compassion. That, like you said, this is the clearing of that soot and that resonance of that crap. And then for the people who are finding themselves in survival, this is your opportunity. We're showing you where you're at and you can level yourselves up.
Yeah. So let's talk about a few things. I definitely want to give people tools of what they can be doing, but I just wanted to kind of bring us to the same, general understanding of where I'm coming from. But so let's also talk just about frequency bandwidths, because what you're talking about, if you understand concepts of timelines, frequency bandwidths are basically vibrating at different frequency ranges. So you got your fear frequency bandwidth down here, stress, anxiety, fear, and then you got, your peace and all is well frequency at the other extreme. And then you've got gradients sort of in between, so to speak. And this is just energetics. I know you guys, of course, know this. So what's happening is people are basically vibing into their frequency range based on where they're at, what their vibrational state is of being. And that frequency bandwidth is going to basically provide you the experiences you need, whoever you are, to kind of ideally up level, or exit stage left if that's your choice. Because for some people, the future of humanity is a future where only gods will walk the earth, in my opinion. So, and that is the third phase of ascension, is the next approximate, 15 years, where we will just basically see people making choices based on their vibrational bandwidth, and they'll have opportunities to, exit stage left. And that doesn't mean I'm not without compassion. Of course I am. But this is ascension, or else to level up to frequencies of mastery and of self-awareness and consciousness and unity and all those things we talk about in those higher bandwidth ranges, right? That basically vibrate in harmony with peace and love and compassion, understanding, awareness, and unity, and all of that. So that makes sense, right? That makes a lot of sense to you?
Yeah.
So the way we level up vibrationally, of course, it's an easy, basically not easy, actually, not easy at all, but a simple, I call it like a 4-step approach, and it's not linear. The first is that we have to identify everything, every belief, every opinion, every thought, every judgment, every emotion, every energetic experience of every kind that tethers us or entangles us and snarls us with those old paradigm, fear-based, lower vibratory states. We have to systematically identify those within ourselves, and then we have to resolve them. So the second step is, once we identify them, we start looking for some kind of clearing or healing or resolution, which we can do mentally, but definitely it has to be emotionally, energetically, and ultimately it will be spiritual, because all things are metaphysical. The third step is really where we download, activate, and awaken and up level to the higher frequencies. That's basically raising our vibration, right? And so that process, that so far just 3 steps, is the process where we raise our vibration. We're up leveling. We clear out what's dense and heavy. We resolve it. And then we anchor in and attune ourselves to higher frequencies. That's step 3. Step 4, I'll even put in a 5th step, which is relevant. Step 4, I'll make 4 step. 4th is we start using it of service and contribution to others, which is what we're doing here. And step 5, I would say, is we choose new experiences. So humanity right now is at a choice point of the experiences that they will choose based on their bandwidth and what they will do with that. Does that make sense?
It, to me, of course, makes so much sense. And I want to love and support the way that you are doing your communication, because it's very tangible usage, understanding of what you're talking about. And I also love the dialogue too, Lori, is because you're even just in your dialogue, in your flow of language, you're calming everybody down and you're helping them see, I am an energetic being. I have choices. I have creative. I don't want to use power as if that's a dominance, but it's the power. We create our realities for ourselves, but we can also feel very isolated. Obviously, people are feeling very isolated right now, but we can connect, energetically in these levels, especially if you have that deeper understanding of what's going on. And when you talk about people, coming to terms with their limitations, so many people don't want to see them because they're painful, they're traumatic. I don't want to deal with this one over here. I can deal with this light, small one over here, but boy, this one over here feels really heavy. And do you have any suggestions for people on how they can assist themselves to work through the pain of what has been limiting for them?
Yeah. So first, if you don't work with it, it will come up in your face. This is a perfect example, because humanity has not dealt with their fear or their collective ignorance. I'll use that word, but please understand it's not coming from judgment. It's that we have been to align with the divine, and that is now what's happening with ascension for the collective. If we're not willing to look at it, it will come up in our face because we're not able to ignore it. So here's some of the tools. Number 1, let me just organize this, because I just let source sort of deliver it through my mouth. Just kidding. Let it come through. Number 1, I want to give you an approach of what you can do right now, whoever you are. And I also want to outline it, how to address it. So first, let's understand this is a time of going inward on a personal level, but actually it's bringing us together more unity. This is a unifying force. This is the elimination of boundaries on planet Earth, while still understanding what healthy boundaries are. We're learning this. And so this is actually not meant to separate us at all. It's actually ultimately going to more fully unify us. And it's important to be always asking, all right, let me give you this first thing, and then we're going to go into the inner work that you can do. That's more important, but just for your own peace of mind, just be asking the questions all the time in your mind without answering them. Let the law of cause and effect answer the question. When a question is asked without an answer, the law of cause and effect, in collaboration with the law of synchronicity, in collaboration with the law of aerodynamics, and in collaboration, many universal laws, will bring you the answer. So ask questions that you want the answer for. In other words, how is this serving us? How is this helpful? What's good about this? What's right about this? How does this get better? What is it about this experience that I'm missing that might be so fabulous and fantastic? Let that be revealed. What is so wonderful about this? How is Earth being healed by this? How are the animals being healed? What's good and right? Like, just ask positive questions and let the universe provide the answers. That's the first thing. But on a more personal level, let's do this. The world we understand, everything in your personal experience is a reflection, whoever you are. For all of us, this is true. It's a reflection of where we are and what we have projected into the field of consciousness. And so our reality is mirroring back to us who we are and what our beliefs and thoughts and emotions and vibratory state is. And so it behooves us to look at that mirror and take cues from it as if they're lessons for us. So anything that you feel triggered by or upset by, anything that scares you or worries you or brings any form of doubt, because those are the lower vibrational frequencies. Whoever you are, this is where you start doing the inner work. Make a bullet point list. Literally, I'm scared that I'm going to not have food. I'm scared that I'm going to run out of water. I'm scared that my parents will get hurt. I'm scared that my kids will get it. I'm scared that the government's going to take us over. I'm scared of deep space, deep state. I'm scared of, write it all down. Whatever it is, and that's at the lower ranges, right? But what if I run out of money? What if I don't have enough money? What if I don't have a job? What if I don't have a home? Whatever it is, write it down. And then there are a number of ways you can start clearing it from your field that are very simple. You don't have to be an expert healer. Number one is you can just put your hands on your heart and ask your consciousness, your own higher self. You don't even have to know what that is. You just put your hands on your heart and just humbly say, I ask that this be taken away from me and transformed into love or light or peace or consciousness, and replaced, my consciousness be replaced with the higher frequencies of consciousness on this XYZ. You just do it, you breathe, you relax. I ask that this XYZ, whatever it is that you bullet pointed that you are afraid of or worried about or have anxiety about, be taken from me, my whole field, my body, my being. You can say both conscious and unconscious, all of it, because some of it you're conscious of, some of it you're not. Take it from me and transform it into love and light or consciousness, and return to me the gifts of consciousness, right? And you just hold your heart. Your heart will do that. Your own consciousness will do it. Your own higher self will do it. You, on some level, are doing it for yourself, right? And other levels. If you prefer to say it to some outside ascended master, Jesus, Buddha, whatever, that's okay too. It's just, we're turning into gods. We have to do this for ourselves. We are awakening the gods within. So that's one thing. Number two, you can use the law of destruction. So there is a law of destruction. It's destructing things right now that are not going on. Our old systems are being destructed. The systems that are self-service, service to self, are being destructed. The systems that are corrupted are being destructed. The systems that seek to dominate and control are being destructed. And so we don't really know everything because we have not been told everything. I mean, disclosure is becoming more and more real in our reality. And we are finding out more and more about the things that we were never told. So the law of destruction is destructing those things that are no longer in vibrational resonance with humanity ascending and becoming gods in physical form. So what that means is you also can use the law of destruction. So let's say you wrote on your bullet point, I hate that I'm afraid of people. I hate this person. I hate the government. I hate that. Hate is one of those words. You can say hate. You can use any emotion, anything that you put on your bullet point. Fear, and I'm worried about this. Whatever it is that you identified in your reality that you listed out, call upon the law of destruction. And you simply say, law of destruction, I respectfully request for you to destroy, and discreate all energies. And you can identify whatever it is, the fear of this. Wherever I created this, I created or participated in harm to animals, destruct it, destroy it, uncreate it. Whatever I did to make that part of my reality, why that's showing up in my reality, why ever I'm seeing it, the fear, the anger, the hate, destruct it now, destroy it, uncreate it. Now, I would always caveat it, personally, I would, in the most benevolent way possible, with the most kindness, with the most grace, with the most benevolence. I personally also always use the word, ideally with zero harm or detriment. Because, I mean, we can't control the universal laws, how they're working. That's their job. They're working right now. They're doing this stuff because we've been doing it. We light workers have been doing this since the 60s. And now it's just come to fruition, right? We knew the 60s was the birth of the first wave. Basically 2012 was the birth of the second wave of awakeners, people starting to get on board with this. And now this is the birth of the third wave. So everyday people can start using these tools. And the law of destruction will respond to you because you are creator. Or in a body with a conscious free will. So you can't destroy or uncreate or discreate someone else's stuff. You can't go interfering in someone else's free will. Don't do that. But you can do anything that's yours. Anything that you notice, that you bullet point or list within yourself that you're afraid of, worried about, hate, judge, dislike, resent, resist, react, struggle with, entangle with, anything that's yours, and anything that you did to contribute or create it, either consciously or unconsciously, either knowingly or unknowingly. And just by using those words, anything I did to create this in my field, to contribute to this, I lovingly now ask and invoke the law of destruction to discreate it, destroy it, and uncreate it in the most benevolent ways possible, and ideally with harm to none.
When I've always said, when people are in trauma, they're still living in the experience of the thing that's scaring them, which is different than, I'm afraid of something, and when I think back on it, I still recognize I'm afraid of it. But when they're carrying trauma around, they're still actively living that experience.
And perpetuating it and recycling it over and over and over again in what we call a looping pattern, which is really being displayed on Earth right now. Looping pattern. Zero could easily be a looping pattern. 20, November 2020.
Something very interesting in talking to different people and how they deal with trauma is they generally, the other thing about trauma is they feel isolated in their experience. Not only am I living this experience constantly, like you said, I'm in a constant loop, and it's a constant activation. It's constant activation for me. And what's even more terrifying for human beings is the thought that they're alone or isolation. I mean, you ask any psychologist for children and they'll tell you the worst punishment you can do to a child is to isolate them. Forget hitting them, forget spanking them, forget, screaming at them, that isolation, that aloneness, because we as human beings have a tendency to forget that we are the all and we're connected to the all. We live in this encapsulated, separate form for ourselves. And we fall into the paradigm of that being a fear as well. So when somebody is dealing with their fears in this manner through your suggestions, which I love, thank you for those. I think also it's important for them to be telling themselves, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I am supported. I am cradled. I am in the safety of the energy, of love and unification. And I always know that by having those words and activating those thoughts and truths for yourselves, you'll start to calm, that fear down, and then you can do more work. So you're not so burning up so much energy and just panic and trauma.
Well, let me add something about that too. So you don't have to be an incredible healer to be able to invoke energies that you want either. So for example, just by putting your hand on your heart, and taking a few deep breaths. We know that breath restores the body to homeostasis, which is balance. So long, slow, deep breaths. you can call in any energy through breath. So you can call in the energy of grace, or the energy of peace, or the energy of, you can call in energy of optimism. You can call in energy just by breathing it in and identifying that frequency as a conscious awareness. You start breathing it into your body. So I call in the energy of peace. Now, you don't have to learn how to breathe. I mean, just close your eyes and feel it move through your body. Feel that energy move through your whole body. And it's always good to do that the moment you discreate something or destruct something, to call in a new higher frequency. Call it in through breath, hands on heart. I call forward the energy of peace. I call forward the energy of trust. I call forward the energy of love. And when you do it, I'm doing it fast because we're having a conversation here. But when I do it in my meditation groups, our energy activation groups, our DNA activations, we take time. We go through every major energy center of the body, right? Every major energy center, belly, reproductive, buttocks, all the way down. And we'll even drop it into the earth. We give it all to the earth, all that beautiful love and peace. And then we let Mother Earth bring up to us what she wants to give to us, which is always even better, right? Greater, like her infinite love. You can call in the energy of feeling safe. You can call in the energy of feeling certain. Certainty is a great tool and energy now. So if you're breathing this into your body and you're anchoring it in your body through your breath, your body is going to immediately feel the results. This is why people say meditation is so great. It's a mild form of meditation that we're talking about. It's not about trying to quiet the mind. It's just breath work to literally replace that which you're clearing out. And even if you exhale out, stress, anxiety, worry, whatever it is, and you can even just imagine like catching it with your hands, giving it up to God, or asking your own angels to take it away, transmute it into love, or the law of destruction. All of these tools are great. The isolationism, it is very challenging. I will say, I love palm reading, and my love line is a hermit line, unfortunately for me. So I'm quite comfortable with that. I know that has served me on my journey to be able to have a lot of time alone because I've done so much inner work on my own, but I don't totally love and enjoy that. And what I can say is I have a certainty that ultimately this is going to bring us together so much more. This is going to unify us so much more. But it's like that whole idea of Vipassana, right, that we started with. So in those moments of being still and learning how to be still, we release and transform our anxiety, our fear, our worries, etc. And in that, we become so much more united with one another and with the divine and with our own selves. And ultimately, this will be, if you just walk down the street right now, I mean, depending on where you live, where you are, and I know where I am right now, everybody's in their backyard, everybody's talking to everybody, everybody's actually, we're talking to strangers and you wouldn't necessarily know or speak with. So in my community where I am right now, it's been much more unifying than separating and dividing. I mean, last night I walked down to the beach, and because I'm right now in Florida, and I mean, the beaches in some parts are closed, unfortunately, but I talk to people along the beach I would never even talk to. I mean, I would, because I'm a social person in that way. Even though I have the hermit, just put me in a social arena. I love everybody. I talk to everybody. But you just recognize that this is serving the greater good right now. This is what the divine has, through our collective, brought together. This is what the laws, through all of our thoughts and all of our emotions and all of our energies and all of our intentions, has synchronized and brought in front of us to support us in our journey. And this, like all things, one of the laws, even beyond the sixth dimensional frequency laws, is we get to the higher laws, all is one, you exist, you will always exist, you always have existed, and all there is you, and you are one. The other sub law of that is everything will change. Other than that, everything will change. So this will change too. This is not a permanent state. And this is a great time to be cleaning out the house of your home, getting rid of your old stuff, materialistically and symbolically saying, this is no longer who I am. And at the same time, metaphysically, cleaning out the mind, cleaning out the emotions, cleaning out the density of the body and the mental and the emotional and the energetic space. As I release this, I let go of my history. Right? This has been said so many times, doesn't even need to be said. 2020 vision from the past of what we will no longer create, and 2020 vision into the future of what we will be creating. And this is our time.
I want to hold you right there. I want you to say that again, please, because the viewers who are watching this program, we've got people just coming into these theories. We've got people who are very advanced and very familiar with these theories. Can you tell people that again? What does the year 2020 represent and mean?
Well, in terms of sacred numerology, the year 2020 represents, I'll break it down even further since you asked me to. 2 is the number of relationships, and it's also a number that repeats itself, repeating patterns. 0 is wholeness, fullness, emptiness, oneness, and the void, the 0 point, the neutral point, the reset. You could also easily say 2020 vision. We will all have great clarity about where we've been, what we've done, what works and what doesn't work, like looking back, but also 2020 vision looking forward, what we choose to create and what we will have in our future. Now, to the degree that people are conscious of this, they get to do it in a very conscious way. So, and that's going to be, a vibrational attunement. So far though, numerologically, does that make sense with the 2020? We also know 2 other things about numerology really quick and easy. It's 22, which means mastery. Those of us who have been preparing, first wavers especially, we're leveling up to our real true ascended master. I mean, I know yesterday, like last night, even right now, and I always feel this when I'm with you, Casey, because we vibe in so much harmony, and I love Julius, and I always feel like Julius I just love that frequency. But last night, I was just closing my eyes and just looking in on my whole life, at every stage of my life. And I was just going through my life, past, present, and into the future, but mostly everything up until the present moment. And I was just, I bless you, I bless you, I bless you. I love you, I love you, I love you, peace. I was looking at the whole trajectory of all of humanity and just letting that vibe, like that frequency, just reverberate through the whole of humanity. I bless you, I love you, I honor you, all is well. Everything's fine. All is peaceful. And so I know, because my frequency it's such a high, pure frequency now, that I can do that. I can be in that still point so easily, and I can see the horizon of all that is in my field, everything that I feel and sense and see and is connected to, like globally, universally, galactically, and just offer blessings. And then if there's something I don't necessarily like, which that does happen, I just say I would, and everyone can do this. You don't have to be in a bliss state to do this. Use the words, I willingly and lovingly release you. I willingly and lovingly bless you. I willingly and lovingly, because that's the 2020 part of it. I can see it all. We can all see what we've done. Some of it we like, some of it we don't like. And what we meant to keep, we take with. What we're not, we release.
Important to say, Julius, of course, supports. You can't get rid of something until you love it and appreciate it. Okay? If you continue to hate it and hold it with disdain, it sticks to you. Yeah, it sticks to you. So,
we're not done with it.
Your words, I lovingly release this. I honor it. I appreciate it. It has served me. I am expanded through it. Okay, I am wiser for it, and I am of a higher vibration because of it, and including all of the things that you're afraid of for that, and the traumatic experiences that were designed to transform you with a level of intensity that you haven't experienced before. And those words, Lori, are so powerful, and also your demonstration for this audience on how to do these things. I know that you have, extreme wisdom and experience in many, many, many fields. I want to give you, please, the opportunity for our viewers, too, to be able to connect with you deeper. Can you tell everybody, your website and how to connect you personally, or however you want people to connect with you?
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I want to say, I feel like there's a couple other things I need to say before we do that. Can I, do we have enough time? I want to tell everybody to please, please, please do whatever you can to get onto the earth, to be barefoot or touching the earth, and just let Mother Earth feel you and heal you. She is a healer. And it will balance and stabilize you and neutralize, like it will neutralize. Also, do whatever you can to allow the light of the sun to come in through the periphery of your eyes and breathe it in, and even engulf it and swallow it in. That will help with the light body and activating light codes. Also, please, 4 keywords that were given, which are so important. Sorry, my eyes are closed because I'm always getting, information, guidance for what's meant to come through. The 4 keywords that Source wanted me to bring forward during this conversation were truth, integrity, freedom, and discernment. So these are incredibly important. Faith, it's lighting up to faith, 5. So the energies and the frequencies of faith, truth, integrity, freedom, and discernment are some of the most important energies at this time, in a sense, because we're all being faced with how good are we at discerning what's true, real, and right, and what's vibrationally uplifting for each of us. We always want to be choosing that which is vibrationally uplifting. In order to do that, we have to have discernment. A falsehood or a lie will always be fear-based or some form of manipulation, and we can see it happening in the collective. The massive amount of lying and deceit which is going on in the lower realms, designed to bring these things out. So call upon discernment and truth. Ask for truth and discernment. Ask, literally ask your own higher self, your own inner consciousness. If you want to ask Jesus or Buddha or whoever, angels, that's fine too. They'll help. They're here to help in the non-physical. Julius or whoever. Integrity. Ask for integrity. Command the field of consciousness to bring in integrity into our world. That your choice, desire, and intention is to live in a world with integrity. Because right now, this is where the rubber hits the road. This is like there's a lack of integrity and there's integrity. And we want to anchor in integrity. Also, very, very important, freedom. True freedom, liberation, and sovereignty. Those 3 go hand in hand, but just freedom. Anchor in freedom. Ask for it. Breathe it into your body. Call forward freedom. Command, not arrogantly, not egoically, or just respectfully. I command for true freedom on planet Earth. Real freedom. And yes, faith, of course. I think I said them. Yeah. So that was just coming in. These are very, very important frequencies right now that we're teetering on and playing with in various ranges of consciousness. So makes sense?
Yes, I love, again, to support you in the way that you are and who you are. And these, these very, very tangible, very useful practices, that's what we're looking for in this program. And you are our lead person in this program. So thank you for taking that position so strongly for us. I'm going to ask you one more time so we don't lose count. Tell everybody your contact.
Actually, I'm about to offer to my community. I haven't even announced it yet, but as long as you're in my community, you'll know. Okay, first let me say this. At LoriSpagna.com, you can get lots of great gifts that will help you with this. One of which we didn't talk about, was DNA, but activations, and you get some great activations and learn about the DNA. LoriSpagna.com/free gifts /DNA. Also, if you're an animal lover and you want to learn about how to help your animals and work with your animals, animal communication, telepathy, energy healing, LoriSpagna.com /free gifts /animals. There's a healing list on there, but I don't know the short link of it by heart. So once you're on the community, you'll be invited to be on the healing list, which is where I do remote healing for the people and the animals on that list. You just have to give us your name and say that you opt in because it's a free will consent. And so I'm doing healing for anyone in my community who wants direct healing, like remote direct healing. The other thing is next week I'll be offering a 5-week coaching and healing call for people who want direct assistance with me. So, but you have to be in my community to get that offer and find out about it. It's not directly on the website yet. But of course, the website is my name, LoriSpagna.com. It's LoriSpagna. And of course, people can find me. There's tons of great stuff on YouTube from me. And there's lots of great stuff on Facebook and in social media as well. So yeah, I would love to I really do feel called to step up, like many of us, our service, because this is what we've been trained for and this is what we've been prepared for. And I really do feel like the calm. I feel like for the most part, I feel like I'm in the eye of the storm. And I feel like I'm holding a huge amount of peace and benevolence and love and understanding and clarity. And I will say it was not easy to get here because I rode through that storm and it was painful, but it doesn't have to be that way for others now because we have people like us here and people who are showing up on Xpnsion Network to help. And I think that's what we're here for. And that's part of the unification. We're here to help one another. We're all in this together. This is not a time actually of superiority or betterness. We're all going through it together. We've just gone through it at different points in our journey. So, and we're here to help one another. So I'm talking a lot, but I'm grateful to have been able to offer and share, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm grateful that I get an opportunity to contribute. So thank you for having me.
Much gratitude as we have for you and everything that you do. I have been blessed to know Lori for a while now, and also to be extremely blessed to be in her wisdom and guidance at times when I need it. We want you to utilize her gifts as well. Let them come in, let them be useful. Make your connection with her and listen to these words and feel how they resonate with you. We here at Xpnsion Network are always sending the best that we can energetically to you to support you in your love, in your extraordinary, in your expansiveness, and unify the truth of all of the love that is here and with you. We are sending all of you support, calm, peace, possibilities, extraordinaries, and joy, of course. We want to thank all of you for being here with us. Lori, we're going to let you say a couple of parting words to our audience, please.
I just want to say I love you guys, and yeah, I want you to think about all the wonderful things that are happening, because there's a lot of good, amazing, wonderful things happening right now. It's a very exciting time, and as we level up, we will see it more and more. So I just want to thank you. I love you, and I love everyone here, and I'm just so grateful. So that's it.
Thanks everybody again for being with us. We'll be back with you shortly with the next episode as you continue to watch this programming. Find your inspiration, find your peace, your balance with all of the chaos going on around you, giving you opportunities that you possibly have not thought of yet at this moment of now. Thanks everyone. We'll see you next time.